You wanna start with you, Marsh? We'll start, we go this way. You wanna start? Marsh Santoro.
Russ Williams.
Holly Holcomb.
Bob Dolphin.
Lena Woods.
Yeah, I'm Steve Owen. I'm sitting in this evening for Council One.
Marsh Santoro.
Russ Williams.
Holly Holcomb. Bob Dolphin.
Yeah, it's
Lena Woods.
Parsons.
Steve Owen. I'm sitting in this evening.
Good, yeah.
That's quite a device.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ben's here.
Ben Pointer.
And now. Oh.
Well,
So there's a bit of delay, so I'm Silas too, nice to meet you. Sorry about that.
Likewise.
Each usually has had his first call out.
okay, so, he's here because, our other Steve, had a medical incident that he's unveiled for come tonight, so thanks for.
Yeah, I decided to pop in.
Hey, the first thing I'd like, I tried to, delay the meeting slightly, so we get silent here. And unfortunately, ended up getting delayed almost 3 months, so it didn't work out, but it was a valiant effort and it failed, and so I apologize for that happening, we should have just went ahead and met. It's made Mason run the meeting, be the city representative, but it's over now. We can't do anything about it. With that, we have the approval of the February 2nd minutes.
I have a correction. I was just 5 minutes late, not absent.
I stand corrected. So we need to move you into being present. Sorry.
Yeah, and then in parentheses, you can say 6:05.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Something official.
I'm okay with being counted as late.
Any comments? Motion to approve?
I moved to approve the minutes. February 2nd, 2026.
I second.
Or better say aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstaining?
I can't even remember 3 months ago. I don't know how, I don't know whether I was there or not.
Silas, you want to give a brief introduction?
Yeah, thank you, and thanks again, and sorry for the confusion and scheduling, and I appreciate you giving me a little bit of grace period, but. Our next meeting, I believe, will be on September 14th, which will be back on the normal routine, which.
Right. Because of Labor Day. Right.
So. At any rate, I'm Silas. I'm new to the city. Obviously, I'm the new public works director. Happy to be here. A little bit about myself. I've been in public works for 27 years. The majority of that was at the city of Gresham. Most recently.
No, she arrived. 6:05.
So sorry. Ran as fast as I could.
That's okay. This is certainly that relaxed team here.
Perina.
No, I can.
It's on your side so you can run them.
Yeah, I'll just. I was wondering how we were gonna do this meeting without. No, you wouldn't have. It's been.
Anyways, before coming to Fairview, I was at Gladstone as their public works director for almost 1 year and 3 months. Yeah, like I said, local, went to Barlow, graduated as our public works after college, as a career, and been doing it for 27 years, so I'm really happy to be here. And I've getting my feet wet with all the projects that are going on, well 10, some other stuff that's developing, so. We're just working with y'all and being part of the group, so. That's it in a nutshell.
And you're up again with the proposed budget reviews.
Yeah, so I handed out kind of, I handed out the budget, that is, these 2 pages come from the actual proposed budget package that we went through with the budget committee. As you may know, we have to get past the council, so it's. There should be a copy for everybody.
I get a copy besides council, I don't know.
So that's the 250.
You get your home, I'm sure.
It's just the 2 pages, so the first page is just kind of a general overview of what the Parks Fund is. Highlights from the 25-26 budget, and then changes to the 26-27 budget on the Second page that has basically the line items, the numbers. You'll see that from proposed budget for personal services, there was a little bit of a change. That's to accommodate basically COLA and bargain payments for wages and benefits and things. You'll see in the materials and services, it actually went down a little bit for materials and services. So the total operating expenditures is actually less in 26-27 than the previous year. You also note that the capital purchases, there was some capital work done that's going on right now related to the docks. The most recent is at Salish Ponds. Those docks have been removed and they're going to be repaired so that they're more safe and floating basically. But that was the capital purchase, and I think there were some other maybe small projects that happened, but this upcoming year, we don't have anything budgeted for any sort of capital work. So just want to kind of report that we've got a budget, but it's pretty much the same or a little less actually than what we did last year. So, any questions?
Say congratulations on keeping it a little lower, you know, it's a hard thing to do in these times,
Oh, thank you.
raising costs and. I'm sure with all the fees and stuff, people will appreciate those lower, you know, costs.
Yeah, and we hope to actually increase it in the future if things all goes well, because there is things that need to be repaired, playground equipment, stuff like that we'd like to get to, so. But there's hope. If development happens and we get some STCs, potentially some of that money could be used towards that as well, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. We don't have parking in most of our parks. Prairie Woods doesn't have any parking, one spot, I think. We don't have, it's hard for anybody to go down there and use it. We don't have parking. We have parking in this park, but it's actually behind here and there's no signage for it, which we'll get that taken care of this summer.
Yeah.
Playgrounds need to be, they haven't been, we're getting an inspection done right now. See where we're at on those, but they haven't been replaced in a long time.
Except for one,
Maybe one has.
Pelfrey.
Perfect.
Oh, Lakeshore was down
The
there.
one right across the street, right across all the Park Cleon isn't that old.
It's not that old.
Well, we're getting old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Great.
sometimes the age can go faster than we think.
All right, thanks, Silas.
I'm curious about one thing. On the staffing and the proposed percentages, when they're like 0.75, what do they do for their other 0.25, or are they employees, or what does that mean?
No, that means that 0.75 of their wage comes for that position comes from general fund. The other 25%, I'll call it, most likely comes from the stormwater fund, because as you know, our parks crew also does stormwater maintenance.
Oh, stormwater maintenance, okay.
So that's where they would be funded from. I'll move on to agenda item number 5. I just wanted to give you an update that Sarah Sullivan, I believe, terrible name, I apologize. But been working with her and Nate Midgley, who's a project manager for the city, basically on a community grant with Metro. We're in discussions with them. We're trying to work through the IGA to secure monies to be able to use at Salish Ponds. So it's in the works. It's a pretty substantial amount of money. I think the latest I heard of is the IGA is going to be extended. We were kind of up against a deadline and it was hard to kind of put together a package, but I do believe that Metro is going to be able to extend the IGA for quite a few years, so we'll still have access to that money. But the goal is to be able to put that towards Salish Ponds, some form of capital improvement. Some of the ideas were improved parking, a shelter, things like that. So that's in discussion. I just kind of want to report to you as I have more information. I'll definitely share with you and get you involved as we secure that IG and that funding.
Yeah, I mean, that would be one area that park committee would look at the improvements on it, so. he could look at it and give us some ideas, suggestions.
Yeah, we actually did that. We had on site, we went over and looked at it. I think there's actually a document that summarizes all that if it would be helpful. It's a starting point.
If there was something existing, I'm sure Sarah appropriated that. She's pretty good about that. So, but I appreciate that. We'll look forward. And that's all I have to.
So with the IGA, did you have to put any concepts down? Or it's just more the,
We did, one of the things we wanted to do is parking on Gleason,
right,
and that's just too big of a lift. With Multnomah County and the transportation plan and trying to invest into that major corridor.
right.
So that's the reason for kind of pivoting and saying, can we just get the IGA extended so we can use the money for something else? But we're still in talks and it's still in the works.
Sounds good. Yeah, there was, I mean, we took a tour there and had some input from some other citizens too. With that, update from the committee, started a couple subcommittees at the last meeting, so.
All right,
Yeah,
yeah, okay, update on the,
And I'm sorry, Ben, we can't hear you. So have you been trying to say something or?
No, I just unmuted myself just now.
Okay.
Maybe, Ben, maybe if you would put up your hand, if you wanna say something, we can, because we gotta turn our volume, otherwise it echoes. Thanks.
well, Marcia and I met him. Do we still
Still have a date. I still don't have a date for when Fairview on the summer is, Fairview Summer Fest. Oh, I'm looking
Say what it is,
on my calendar, I
I-
do not have it.
is on July,
I have to look at the website. We'll
I'll
see.
tell you what it is here. It's July 25th. 10 AM to 4 PM.
So we had some ideas for the booth with some fun activities for kids, like a toss. With some really cute little prizes. These are super popular.
I actually have a little toss game.
Oh, nice. And look, I have some little, our theme will be picnic in the park, summer fun. You know, like little tablecloths that are
Wow.
picnic theme, little mustard and ketchup, little fun tosses.
So yeah, I've got a little toss game for the littles that's got like 5, 10, 30 points on it. I've got the Lays,
I love it.
The Lays were really hot.
They
I think I got 200, didn't I say I got 200, I think?
Yeah.
200 to 500, well, I got a huge package, cause I kept telling her, they were a hit, I don't.
Oh, I believe it.
So I bought a big package of them.
And the adults wanted them too.
Right, so that's my
Next year.
gift to the,
Yeah.
Yeah,
to it.
That's great, so we don't have to borrow from the booth across the way.
no.
No,
And I'm gonna help out with Chop the Walk too, but a lot of fun activities, and we were thinking of a drawing little contest with some prizes. Or draw what you'd like to do in the park. And just.
then we want 2 clipboards.
We were gonna ask if there's any feedback you want on any projects.
Like, what do you like about the parks or what do our parks need? 2 questions.
Or is there a specific project, like for Salish, like, you know, what improvement would you like to see there? You know, is there a certain, you know, pick from a few things you're kind of thinking of. You don't have to give us an idea tonight, but if you email us, if there's something that you want public input on a project that you're doing specifically. Like if you have a couple of things in mind, if you'd like input, let us know. If not, we can ask a couple.
One thing I
questions.
came away with the last time is that we needed something, whether it is a brochure or whether we blow it up. We do something where we can explain to people easily where the parks are.
Right.
Remember, we were sitting there and there were times where it'd be nice if on a map we could show them where particular
Do
parks
we have the map? Don't
Maybe on our website.
We have it on.
I think so.
What-
Well, I think there's a brochure probably upstairs too.
If
I've
we
seen
could
it
blow up
before.
one big like one big thing of Fairview that has all of our parks pinpointed, and then we could have it sitting at our table. Cause not everybody has access to a device. I know that for a fact in my community. Not all my seniors have a device. You know, so they don't all, they would have to go to the library to access the information. And they may not want to do that if we had a poster right on our table and it has, these are all the parks that are in Fairview. And it pinpoints them all.
And what we might do is limit it to the really big parks, because we've got a lot of parks.
That's true, maybe
Parks.
maybe just our big parks, yeah, maybe just our big parks, that would be much appreciated. I'm not sure how to do that myself, that might be something.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably print large format at,
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking maybe we could copy it off on a memory stick and take it like up to Walmart's and just have a poster made of it.
he said marathon. Oh,
Yeah, Marathon Printing does printing for us.
Oh, okay.
They can do it.
okay,
Okay.
really, the bigger the better.
Yeah, I think we should include Stone Ridge Park. It's a little park that's in the median in the road.
That one,
You
yeah.
coming from Fred Meyer?
Is that smaller than, you know, you have the smallest park in Oregon, so is that smaller than the smallest park that?
No.
It's not the smallest park, but you can't actually be in it because it's the middle of the road. It's a park, that you can't actually be in it. There's.
So we can claim to having a park you can't be in. That's our claim to fame.
Well, I do need to give you a brief update before we get too carried away on all the booths.
But anyhow, what did you think of like activities?
I think that's great. I want to give you a quick update. So the recreation department is now handling Summerfest, because we call it, Summerfest now. So we've gone to a different model. Instead of having a booth for every single committee, we have one for the city. And so I know you've got some ideas, and maybe those will spill out. And so that's the case, we need to coordinate with the
We're
recreation.
gonna have one booth for the whole city.
That's what we're planning on this. Yeah, that's for recreation. Sure.
What are you gonna do for the rest of the booths? The city made up probably a quarter of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot more booths this year.
Okay.
It's expanded. It's quite a bit bigger than it was in the past.
Okay.
So, but I think
And that one, I wish I'd have known that before I bought the Lays, that would have been something, yeah, that's why we need to meet more than every 6 months.
Is it a large booth at least? Like, how big of a corner can we have?
I don't know how big it is, but what I can say is that, you know, those in the subcommittee will get you connected with our recreation department. You know, if there's something that, hey, you've got a lot, maybe we can do something different. We've had, I think, I know that maybe this group was really active in the past, but there's been a lot of committees that were not very active. And they just sort of sat there, so it was taking up real estate space, so to speak. So it sounds like you've been very active, which is wonderful, and we can do something to make sure you can still do the things that you want to do. We don't want to limit what you do.
Yeah.
They're just trying to reorganize the whole space area, so. But I can definitely get you connected with Annie.
I've been actually texting and communicating with her. She did like our plans.
That's wonderful.
So I
That's
mean,
great. So
it wasn't like we were on an island, you know,
Well, perfect, perfect.
you know, and
And I'm not opposed to like ideas for projects. It's just hard to accumulate ideas when you don't have the funding.
right.
So I'd rather kind of get the IGA and the Metro money secured and then maybe focus on doing some sort of a poll with you first and get ideas and then maybe put it out to the public or something in the future. But wish lists are great. It's just I don't want to create a big bubble and then, you know,
Yeah.
burst
Well,
it.
that's why, you know, we were.
Is the funding for what we do with the booth, we've always taken care of that ourselves.
Yeah, we've never asked the city for anything except a tent and a
So
table.
you've been personally paying for everything?
Yeah, we've never asked.
I mean, I go to Costco and I buy the big boxes of chips and I've got a wagon I haul them in on
We
and.
bring in any of the color agents we want. Yeah, we've never asked the city for anything but a tent and a table.
Well,
And I think there's even a banner with the.
That's
name of
true, we have a-
certain ones of,
we have a
I know
banner.
public safety had a banner, didn't they?
But I think we have a banner too. Maybe, maybe not,
Well,
but
it sounds like we've already been in discussion, and so it's not like we're not catching.
Yeah.
yeah, that's great.
You know, so it sounds like.
But she didn't mention we wouldn't have a booth, you know.
yeah,
But I don't, if they, I think that. I think if there's booths that are doing activities, if there's not enough space at one booth, I don't think two would be the end of the world, two or three, if they're doing activities, I think. It depends, if they don't have a lot to offer or do, then maybe condense them, maybe put that out there, if they're not doing like if we're having kids do stuff and,
Absolutely. Annie's got a lot of things planned
yeah,
and we have a significant amount of vendors compared to the past.
oh, yeah,
So-
oh, and I love it, I love that
Should be
she
a
has a
lot
lot
bigger.
going on, I think if there's not enough. Space. for
vendors local?
activity.
I'm sure some are, I don't know what they all are.
Okay.
I don't know who the vendors are.
I was just having through my mind, like, how many parks can you name? I mean, how many parks in Fairview can you name? List them.
I love
Be an
it,
interesting game.
But please continue coordinating with Annie
yeah,
and let her know Marsh has things, you've got things, Lennox got,
yeah, I have.
and we'll work to make it work.
Right, and if
I'm sure
you,
we can make something work, cause
Oh,
I mean, you
absolutely.
guys have tons of tables and tents and there's a lot of space there.
And we appreciate what the committee does.
so I guess we don't need,
Volunteers to man. Well, I'm gonna be there because I have a chop off and we're gonna do some activity.
well, I'll be showing up with the baby at some point, so.
It's really hot.
Well, I don't know, I've done it for years. I would like to do it.
I would like to do it on the Parks and Recreation behalf and not on anybody else's behalf. I don't want to do it on the city's behalf. Because that's not what I'm a part of Parks and Recreation,
Mhm.
and that's who I want to do it on the behalf of.
Parks are part of the city,
Yeah,
Right, but I don't want to
not a
be
separate
going,
district.
I don't want to be going, I'm here for Fairview City, because that's not the committee I'm on. I'm on the committee of the Parks and Recreation. And that's what I want to encourage.
Yeah, you can absolutely just represent parks, and that's what the advisory committee is about, so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel like we're being pushed into one big bubble. Instead of having our own space, in a sense. I feel like everybody's being pushed into one big bubble space, rather than having our own individuality. And I'm all about being individual and being unique and having our individuality. And I feel like the city is saying we can't be individuals anymore, even in our committees. I'm really getting that, and I'm not being happy about this at all. I'm really feeling like this is not the committee I started with. And it's just being pushed into one big bubble. And I'm feeling like this is not the Parks and Recreation that I started with, that I was told, that that I read about, that said, this is the committee you get to be in, this is what you get to do, these are the things that are gonna happen, this is how often we're gonna meet and everything. And, and I was super excited. I'm not as excited about this committee anymore, because like I said, I feel like I'm being pushed into a bubble with all the other committees.
Well, I guess what I'm hearing is, this is a total outsider looking in, because Mark, I picked up the phone when I saw Mark calling today. Could have been a mistake.
Steve would probably agree with me.
But what I'm hearing is that, and it is the, at least from what people that have spoke here so far have indicated, they would like to have their own identity at the festival, as opposed to a big, long City of Fairview table. So I think that's the request. And I guess you're the guy that decides whether that happens or not, but it seems we did a all in favor say, it would kind of lean that way. And so I think, the committee as a whole, as Lena had said, that, they've been pretty active, and she's went out and accumulated stuff to bring and represent. So, maybe you could go back and, I don't know whether it's you making the ultimate decision or whether there's a committee, but it seems like you folks would like to at least
Are they short on
Have your own area.
space? Is that the problem?
maybe it's right next door to the city and then there's the parks. So something to consider.
And they've had it that way before, is all the all the community booths have been right next to each other. We've all been lined up and been able to talk with each other and enjoy our.
Well, instead of having everything so kind of generalized, having more specialized, so maybe in the case of this committee, it's more of a specialty, right? They've got their own area. And then if you want to be general, you go to the city of Fairview.
And I think it being thrown at us right at the last minute is the other thing that kind of is in my craw about it. I mean, had we been told about this at the beginning of the year, you know, or even last year said, oh, next year we're going to do this differently. We're going to be doing it as a whole, as the community, would have given us a chance to say, okay, we'll take this in. Now that we know it's going to be done differently, would have given us a chance to absorb it, I guess, and say, okay, so we're going to have to do this differently. But it's being thrown at us, to me, at the midnight hour. I feel like it's being thrown at me at the midnight hour when already we've been planning that we have one booth. These are all the little things we want to do in our booth, where we've planned the decorations, we've planned the games, because everybody has the spinner thing and we didn't want to do the spinner thing this year. We wanted to do something really different for the kids, make sure we had something for even just the littles, like I had the one thing for the littles, you know. So I feel like, yeah, it's being thrown, all of a sudden we're being told, well, now you have to join everybody else and you have to be like everybody else too. I'm good to tell you right now, I'm a unicorn. And my pronouns are goddess and unicorn. They're not she, her, them, they, or whatever. My unicorns are goddess and unicorn. I am a unique person, as you're all finding this out. You didn't know by now, you know now. And so like I am, I feel like we are being thrown in with everybody else. And we are not everybody else. We are a unique committee.
We are part of the city though. Okay? You have to accept that, Mark.
I do accept that, but I still think that we are a unique committee.
Well, I am definitely part of the city. There's no question about it. And Marcia and I come from entirely different perspectives on just about everything, except when we come to our Parks Committee. And we tend to kind of line up and see somewhat similarly on certain things. Other things we're radically different on. But, you know, I was kind of proud last year when I saw the parks booth here, public engagement was here. Can't remember what was out there, but I don't.
Right across from us was public.
Public safety, and then Public Works, and then over there was City Council. And I'm not sure if anybody else had anything. Public engagement was right there. They did a beautiful job on the sidewalk, chalk and all that sort of thing. It gave me a sense of pride that we actually had all this stuff. And when people came through, Fairview had a presence. I mean, if you just open it up to a bunch of vendors, I suppose if you charge them a fee, et cetera, it might be more lucrative, but it's certainly not a neighborhood carnival type of feeling. I'm assuming maybe you've got something maybe that's more neighborhood oriented, maybe up on the stage or something, but I just feel the flavor of Fairview is kind of being lost in all this.
Hear, hear.
Commercial.
I was gonna say, I agree, here, agreed.
We agreed on something, Marcia.
I hear, I
This is a
agree with that.
monumental event.
I mean,
That's
part of my lunch program,
Ben has
too,
a-
you know?
Ben has a thing.
Hello?
Here, agreed.
We agreed on something, Marcia.
I hear,
This is a monumental event.
You guys hear me okay?
Ben has a thing.
Okay. I don't want to derail, but I'm on borrowed time. I didn't know if I could go about our subcommittee.
Ben has a thing.
Sorry, Ben. I don't know why that's not.
I don't want to derail, but I'm on borrowed time. I didn't know if I could go about our subcommittee.
Oh. Yeah, can we move on?
Work out the need. I think you need the
Ben's calling.
It's super delayed.
Go back. I'll put you on speaker here.
I'll work with Annie and see if we can get a booth. I mean, it seems, from my perspective, you know, I'm part of the city. I'm super happy to work with people, but we only have a meeting once a quarter and we were set forth with a subcommittee to set up a booth. And to spring it on, it's like less than a month ahead, you know, of the event after we've done all this subcommittee planning to change the plan last minute. That's what kind of, it's like, oh, well, why did we even have a subcommittee for a booth if we weren't gonna have a booth? It seems kind of last minute, to change that. That's where it's like, you know, we kind of wasted a lot of planning and time if we weren't. I think it's good then maybe have them all together, or if somebody doesn't have a lot of activities, maybe bring it together, but if we were set forth in a subcommittee last meeting, you remember, like, hey, gonna plan some activities, do some stuff. It's kind of a different spirit, you know, this time, but we can work with Annie.
I appreciate it. I hear what you're all saying. I wanted to give you a little bit of information, but I'll certainly go back and talk with Pyro and his team and see what, you know, what we can do. First of all, things have been changing really quickly. And, you know, the rec department was just created last year. And so as you've gone into, you know, they've taken over events, whereas they were performed originally by our city reporter, which is difficult because she was doing everything at night and doing a part-time job at night. It was really hard on her and it wasn't fair to her. So this was not something we mean to spring on you. I think the situation is, I know I wasn't very aware of the work you put into a booth. I mean, I can see you obviously put a lot of work into it. And I don't think anybody intentionally thought, oh, Parks does a really great job. We don't care. That's not it at all. It's just the city is trying to create a vibrant, absolutely love the committees, love the people serving, and trying to create a more vibrant, get more people in type festival. And so they're planning some additional things. But let me talk with Hiro. I think that would be really good. Maybe if you want to be the liaison, to kind of get more information on what you do and how much room it takes. We'll take a look at what we can do. I think that, like I said, trying to look at redesigning it, trying to look at what is being used, how does it fit in? I don't think that I wasn't aware of how much work this park committee does, so.
Well, and also this public safety.
Let's not be, Ricky said,
Yeah.
do it.
Okay, I just have
Ben
one
has to
question.
go soon.
Okay,
You know, I think
okay.
they're willing to work it out. It
We'll
seems
try to
like-
figure it out.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we have another subcommittee. Hopefully this one won't be 4
Yeah.
minutes. Do my agenda here.
We wouldn't want to do that.
Okay, Ben, can you speak?
Yeah, is it,
Can you guys hear me through the phone okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, turn it that way.
I think that might work better, because I was just hearing the feedback like 30 seconds later.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna read kind of what I typed up instead of, that way I kind of get everything. So this is basically looking at kind of in the gaps with like different friends of or adopted park programming. So I know the city has discussed creating a volunteer website or registry where individuals can sign up to volunteer. I think it's a positive step, but through my research, it doesn't appear to address the larger question. Our subcommittee was tasked with exploring how volunteer organizations and community groups partner with local governments that help fill maintenance and funding gaps, particularly when cities face limited park budgets. A volunteer registry may help connect individual volunteers to opportunities, but it doesn't really create the organizational capacity needed to recruit volunteers, secure grants, coordinate projects, attract donations, build partnerships, provide long-term stewardship of parks and natural areas. One thing I found interesting is Portland's volunteer stewardship program and the Volunteer Portland website, which serves as a central resource connecting volunteers with stewardship opportunities through the city's parks and natural areas. Something that stood out was the system is built around ongoing partnerships with community organizations and stewardship groups, not necessarily individual volunteers signing up for occasional projects. The examples I found including Portland's volunteer stewardship program and groups such as City Bluff Restoration, are really based on individual volunteers occasionally signing up, more on organized community groups, adopting long-term stewardship roles for specific parks. The difference is that these organizations provide continuity, leadership, volunteer recruitment, grant writing, fundraising, project coordination, partnership with other nonprofits, and thousands of volunteer hours over many years. So the city isn't coordinating every individual, so to speak. Instead, it's partnering with the established community organization that serves as that stewardship for that particular site. If Fairview is interested in addressing maintenance gaps and improving park conditions with limited resources, I think the subcommittee should be looking not only at the volunteer registration system, but these larger stewardship models. Let's see. In my limited review, I found neighboring communities are taking different approaches. Troutdale has an established Adopt a Park program that allows volunteers and organizations to help maintain, preserve, develop, and improve parks and trails throughout the city. That model appears to be beyond simply maintaining a volunteer list. Instead, creates that framework for ongoing stewardship. And Wood Village, I haven't heard back from my contact Caroline in a while. I've got to reach out to her again, but they have volunteer opportunities through commissions, advisory bodies, including the Parks Commission. But looking at these examples together, these stewardship program organizations like Rose City Bluff and Wood Village appears several models available involving residents in that stewardship model. I also know that later this week, representatives from Friends of Fairview Woods will be meeting with city staff to discuss potential partnerships and opportunities and what a volunteer stewardship or pilot program could look like in Fairview. While that discussion is specific to one park, it may provide useful insight to like a broader stewardship partnership model could function in the city. That may help inform the subcommittee's work moving forward. I haven't had time, obviously I've got 2 newborn twins. I haven't had as much time as I'd like to dedicate to this research over the past few months. But I at least wanted to bring a few examples forward that I was able to find. Once again, happy to continue kind of with the subcommittee working on this.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
And the other thing is, there's like different levels.
Mhm.
You know, you have that level that Friends of Fairview may try to be. But like Karina mentioned, there's potentially some HOAs in the village
Yeah.
who'd be willing to maybe help out a pocket park or a community park. You know, not.
There's already 2, actually mine
Yeah.
and the largest one that Dixie Bowman helps lead. They've adopted parks and I've seen people out there cleaning up stuff. So they've unofficially already started.
Wow.
So
What are they doing?
picking up garbage and
Okay,
different
that's fine.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing crazy, no,
Okay.
just litter control.
Anybody can pick up, picking up trash is fine.
Yeah, no, they're not mowing, no, I was very clear on it,
That's-
it's garbage.
Yeah, it's fine, as long as people aren't driving in the parks and
No,
cleaning out homeless camps and
these
things.
are pocket parks, like
Yeah,
you see garbage.
That's wonderful. I do the same thing. I pick up trash on the way in from my car, my city hall.
Mhm.
Right, but I go out for walks daily and there's people picking up garbage, and stuff. It's very nice.
I appreciate
You may
that.
get that to evolve into something more that
Yeah,
they
yeah,
take over a bed,
Right.
you know, in these a pocket park, you know, you may grow that, or, you know, that should be our goal.
Maintain the plants rather
Yeah.
than just pick up the trash. I don't know.
But if they meet, you know, some of these groups I know of, they meet like first Saturday of the quarter, you know, they meet 4 times a year in a park and do something there.
And that's wonderful. And Ben, it's hard to look at the group, look at you, but thank you.
thank you.
So, number one, I wanted to give you, I mean, Silas and I have been talking, we've been talking internally about this. First of all, anybody can go through and pick up trash. You see something like that, you know, and if you see a homeless camp or you see someone that's doing something with call 911, and you know, let them know, let us know.
Yeah.
So we're aware. You can also send an email to our code compliance at fairvieworegon.gov and report any type of camp or massive amounts of trash. Just please don't drive into the parks, don't bring your pickup truck in there and start picking up things. But it's, yeah, you know, don't start trimming trees and things and mowing grass, just, but I think we're not opposed to having some partnerships like Ben's talking about. There's a couple things we have to navigate, and I apologize, we're just not able to navigate it very quickly because we have lots of going on, but the one big thing we have to navigate is insurance. It is having oversight. There are so many DEQ regulations, there's city regulations, there's metro regulations, there's all kinds of things, so. Basically, we are more, I mean, I'm more than happy to have people help take up our apartment, that's fantastic. We just have to set up a good structure where we're checking, I mean, if Friends of Fairview Woods has insurance, they're gonna cover it, wonderful. If not, we need to make sure we're checking with our insurance. So it's great, we're gonna have an internal staff meeting, we're gonna talk with Ben and his representatives, I think you might be there, Bob, so. We'll talk more about that, but we're not opposed. I want you to know it's great. We did it in Tillamook. We can have some little community beds to share. We just have to set up a structure. That's all. And we also have to make sure the Parks Department, well, Parks Department, Parks Division is able to manage that. So.
I think another big piece of it too is I've got some experience on some other boards is, you know, we're talking that, I mean, the city has a union. And that word hasn't come up yet, but I mean, we do have a union and so, yeah, you've got to tread lightly or at least make sure that you're communicating with the union on what your intent is, because the idea of taking away, you know, a union member's workload does become an issue. That's fact. That's just the way it works. So there's definitely some discussions that need to take place as far as what exactly a volunteer would be doing and trying to make it more meaningful than picking up garbage. I mean, I pick up garbage out in front of my development and get out there with my weed whacker and do that kind of stuff, but it's not a city park. You know, it's just an area that doesn't seem to get managed very much, but if I were to do the same thing and run down to Hockaday Park, that little park right there in my neighborhood and start doing things too much, I mean, I would potentially be taking work away from someone that is their job.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing it. That's a very good point. Yeah, and just to say really quickly, I mean, it's so much easier. I mean, I was over at spent Father's Day with my dad over in Camas. He has 5 acres that I grew up on, but you know, you can mow and take care of things and trim trees, and when you come to public land, it's just a totally different situation. So, but we do really appreciate Ben and his all his volunteers. Everyone wants to help out, and we absolutely want to work through it. We just, it's difficult, not difficult. It just takes time. So thank you, Ben.
Good report.
Questions?
Any questions?
I had questions. Is there any special engineering projects for like for if there is a homeless camp area that seems to keep getting repopulated every time it clears? Is there any clear, like putting in, you know, big rocks or, you know, big logs or any sort of
Since I've been here, I haven't talked about that or had any sort of discussion. I think the best route right now is to call the home team or Multnomah County reported.
they've been slashed though. The one budget has been slashed,
There's-
which is
Yeah, they're still here for 8 more days. But what's happening now is the whole email, everything will still be monitored. It's gonna be a different response. Instead of having 2 people out proactively, they're still gonna respond, but with the deputies, it's gonna be a response.
just that there's certain areas, yeah, I've lived here a long time and there's certain areas like around Salish that there's this chronic, you know, as soon as it's cleared, someone else shows up and fills the void or comes back. Is there, some places start doing certain kind of engineering where the people can't repopulate that area as easily, you know. It's just something to think about
Yeah,
to save money in the long term, because it costs so much to clear those out
it does.
and it's dangerous. I've stopped walking the ponds because it is, I've encountered very mentally, you call, but when you're out on a trail alone and a smaller woman, you don't want to be unsafe because there's somebody scary there with, you know? And it's hard, and then
Just you.
right on it.
Well, if I may say a couple things, I
Yeah.
appreciate that very much. Oh, back. So, a couple of things, the Hope team, what they proactively did was they would go around and they'd work on these spots and they would help try to get people to move along. And so what we have now is gonna be a little bit different, it's gonna be more response driven. That would allow us, our code compliance officer will go out in the ponds. He will go through, he will take a look, and he will patrol it, and he'll put it into to our sheriff's office, and they will work with the people to try to remove. So the number one thing you can absolutely do is to email our code compliance. And what we have now is it's literally a couple of people, our team, we have an admin who actually gets all those emails and is working with the emails all day. Or our code enforcement officers are out working, so it's really helped out. The other thing too, just, I've said this many times, the city is not complying with the time, place and manner. And we really need to be doing that. So eventually, if we start complying with state code, they have time, place and manner. That means we have to have a designated spot, what we're supposed to anyway. Designated spot for people to temporarily arrest. If they temporarily arrest, then we can remove them immediately from parks. We don't have to give them a 72-hour notice and so forth, because we have a place for them. Right now, we don't have a place. And so we have to give them.
But I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about removing, I'm saying once they're removed, once they're gone, if the space is empty.
Right.
Clearing the brush back and maybe landscaping in a way that's no longer friendly for it to be repopulated. Once it is clear, because there's certain spots that are kind of over and over again.
Frankly, I think it's a great idea. Problem is, falling in those folders costs a lot of money. You have to set them, and when you actually do it like ODOT does, they are a specific distance apart and they have to be cut. They can't be round boulders. They're very particular about exactly, we've had a couple of those contracts.
Yeah.
And they're really particular about it, and it's expensive.
Okay.
And also we have, thank you, Lena,
Yeah.
and there's also those regulations. I mean, we can't just go out and start removing everything.
Right.
If you take a look on Sandy, there's a spot there across from Fairview Terrace. And you see there's a bunch of big, they call them Jersey barriers there.
Yeah.
Well, that's because we had people, some literally they were parking tractor trailers full of tires there and dumping them, and it was expensive. We have RVs getting dumped. So the city invested in that money. We paid for those Jersey barriers to go in there.
Right.
And then also over on, what is it, that curve there, on the other side of I-84, I can't think of the street. Anyway, there's a huge spot that people used to camp out and dump, and now we've had to put Jersey barriers in there too, so. The parks are very, very large, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to get, trying to help regrow areas, and we're also looking and trying to patrol those areas. One of the other things too, to let you know, we have a new director, well, the county has a new director. Services Department. His name is Nathaniel, he's from LA, has a lot of experience, and so he actually he's open to coming and talking to our council. So I'm gonna be working to schedule him to come talk. The county spent roughly about $600,000 last year on our 3 cities on homelessness. And the question is, the city managers are asking, what exactly was that used for? 100% certain, it's not very transparent. I'm sure they're doing something, but we don't really know. So that's one of the things we've been asking is will give us information. They have a contract that goes out and meets with homeless, but they don't do enforcement.
Right.
The Department of Homeless Services don't do enforcement. That's not their policy. So it's interesting. But we're going to have Nathaniel come out, meet with our council, and try to get some more plans and active notification how we can help out. So
Thanks.
thank you.
Yeah. Even like over there, clearing those bushes along the benches really reduced drug use.
Yeah, glad you liked it. That's my idea.
I've actually brought it up before, Benny, but, and I think around the playground, like over here, and I don't know about other parks, but there's bushes that now the drug use is kind of moved behind there. And when I walk, I smell drugs. So, keeping the playground cleared where people can't sit on the bench over there and do drugs without being seen.
And we are going to eventually do a little bit of low landscaping over here. So
Yeah.
I'm totally prepared for it.
I imagine so. But it's nice to not have those places where people hide and do drugs.
Well, those types of things in our parks around benches and things, those are type of things us can address.
That's really
Just like
nice.
we did these, so.
That's engineering too, that I was talking, like clearing brush.
Well, and those are the type of things the Parks Committee can give us, as you go out and look at parks, so you can bring that back. That's a perfect thing to do. Those are types, those maintenance things, you're just like, hey, I saw this, it'd be really great if we did this. Those are the types of things that you can bring back and saw this, and the team can go on to. Those are simple.
Bench by the overpass. That one. Nothing good ever happens over there. Other question?
Any other, so now we're up to questions. Yes,
Well, that was just.
we kind of involved into that already, but is there any other, or any other issues? I guess one thing I have is, are we all satisfied with the next meeting date being in September, If we did, technically we're supposed to meet in April. No,
Yeah, we had,
hey, Marsh, can you give me a second? We're supposed to meet in July. We should be meeting, this is essentially the April meeting,
This is the April meeting.
and so it's supposed to meet in July, so is there anything we need to cover? We need to meet prior to September. Keep, part of it's keeping the momentum of the committee going.
our next meetings tentatively
Hey.
Monday, April 20th, and tentatively Monday, July 6th.
That's why I was talking about July, Marsh, that's why I was just saying.
We didn't have one in April, and we didn't have.
I know that,
I feel,
okay, you're not,
I think everybody's saying the same thing.
I'm saying,
Didn't have
I think
the April
technically we're supposed to
meeting.
be meeting in 10 days, or
Yeah.
something like that,
We didn't meet in April because I just started, so I
Right.
apologize for that. I should have had the meeting, but made a decision to do it in June. I'm open to having another meeting before
Right.
September. I mean, do you guys feel the need to meet again? I'm open to meeting again.
That's what I'm asking, okay? I'm throwing that out and asking that.
How about August? Instead of July, how about August after our Fairview Festival stuff?
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Fine with staff.
I do have a trip in full disclosure. I'm going to New York to visit our daughter in August, but that's, I shouldn't, in fact,
First Monday in August?
I don't know. I have to check on that, but I'm open.
Throwing it out there.
Yeah,
You know? I almost wonder if we could even negotiate like every other month. If it's once a quarter seems like really far. Anyhow, just something to, you don't have to think about it, but you want it for the next meeting. Does anybody else think every other month would be better than once a quarter?
When do you think, local share will be moving forward from that? When do you think your 8 feet, that's gonna be fall?
Yeah. that's
Okay.
pretty wild.
Okay.
If I may, Bob, just reiterate, the purpose of going to the quarterly meetings, and we could definitely look at that. Is the fact, the question is what are the meetings useful? Are we
Right.
doing productive things? It's not great for me, but I'm spending time here. So you're all spending time here. I know. We don't get paid for it.
It's got his hand up.
And Ben does too, just a moment. So the idea, and like I said, I already met with council last year, we talked about it, it was just a initial discussions and trying to get the committees organized to where they're useful to the council. So like to Mark's point, one of the things part of our concerns when I came here was the committees were doing a lot of things that weren't really what the code says. And so that's why I've been trying to very gently try to get them directed to the area where the code is, and that's why I want to look at the council like, is this where you want it, where you want to go? We've had some initial discussions. But like the biggest thing for a park committee in the cities I've served in, and most committees, there are two basic needs. One need is that you are reviewing projects, you're taking a look at things, you're giving input. If we have, when we get to the point where the Metro Fund, then that's something Silas is going to bring, say, hey, here's what we have. And that's where you can get feedback. It's like, okay, we want this feedback. And then when we go to the council and they tell them this is what the Parks Committee says, kind of similar to the Planning Commission, although they're quasi jurisdictional, sometimes they have things that will like make a recommendation, something to the council. So that's one area. The other area would be, well, that, I guess it falls in the same areas. If we had actually had money to do things, we could get more input. You know, if you've watched the council meetings, you see our public safety fee is gonna go up. And you're gonna see that in the next quarterly newsletter. Please look for your newsletters. We've been working really hard on the articles. I just reviewed the final draft. That's gonna come out. I'm actually got meetings scheduled. I got one Belfry Park scheduled. I've got several ones throughout the city scheduled. I'm gonna be there. HR will be there. I'm gonna invite council and budget committee members if they want to attend. And we're gonna talk about, we're gonna have nice big charts to show. We're gonna talk about everything going on and try to explain to everyone why the budget is the way it is. And the council's taken a real leadership role to try to make sure we can have revenue to sustain our public safety. So those are the things we're working on. You know, it'd be fantastic if we sit there and go, hey, guess what? We got some money. We can actually do some projects now. Don't have that. We hope to. We're working on it. There's a lot of things need to transpire. We need to resolve law enforcement concerns with funding. We've got to resolve our fire funding. There's just a lot of things. But you'll see that article coming out, several articles about it. And also something to keep in mind too, in the newsletter, you'll see that I've offered if like neighborhood organizations or businesses want me to come talk to them. Now, if I get 300 requests, I'm gonna have to consolidate, but if I get a handful, more than happy to do it. You know, that's my role, is to go out and explain what's going on. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. So those are the things that the committee can do. And that's why we're trying to get it structured to where we're you know, we have this. So you feel like you know exactly what the committee does. I'm like, okay, now you have a roadmap. Hopefully that helps.
Do you still need to say something then?
Can you guys hear me on the phone? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as meeting schedule, I think, once again, I don't think we need to meet monthly, like meeting just to meet. I feel like we should have action items to like go do our homework and bring back to the table so we have substance. But if we're just rehashing the same things each meeting, like that's my 2 cents, that we don't need a meeting next month or, you know, but as long as we leave with something that we're working on to bring back to the table for the next meeting, that's my 2 cents.
Okay, I'm right. Switching back to my hearing aids. So, do you see any progress on the other subcommittee where we would need to report back to the committee? The potential for any progress on your subcommittee, where we can get feedback back to the HOAs that want to potentially volunteer, you know, maybe expand their work in the village.
The committee that,
On the volunteer committee.
the one that,
I don't think so at this point. I mean, not by the next meeting. I'm gonna have to do some research. I mean, I appreciate where Ben's coming from, but the city of Portland has 600 people that work in parks.
Right.
I mean, it's a massive budget. It's a massive undertaking. Now, Troutdale having an adoptive park, I'd like to talk to somebody from Troutdale about that, see how it's structured, and talk to Nathan. I mean, I agree. It's about coordination. It's about what are the expectations? What are the uses of the parks? What should we be doing in the parks for maintenance? Because I look at it from a maintenance and use perspective. The recreation is a whole nother department, but I want to make sure that what we have is safe and usable. And Fairview is very unique in the way it's structured for parks. You have two massive properties, Salish, Fairview, and they're really intended for specific use. And you have pocket parks, you have a community park, but the usage is very unique. It's really not meant for a lot of sports activities and recreation in that sense, which is what I'm used to from my last job. There were associations for softball, soccer, things like that. So I don't think so at this point, but I want you all to know that I'll do my best to make progress. I'm all about that. I'm very collaborative. I want to do work and make changes. And I'm with Ben. I don't want to just meet to meet and rehash. And that's what I was saying about like ideas and coming up with ideas and getting people hope up. I don't want to do that. I want to be realistic about what we can do. And right now, financially, it's pretty much par for the course. So I'm open to having a meeting. If August 3rd is the first Monday, I can do that. But I think what we're trying to do is get back to where we're at quarterly.
Right.
So wherever that is, I'll meet. If you want to do another meeting and then that next quarterly, I'll meet you to just to get to know you better and talk more. But I do want to make this fruitful and, you know, make some changes. But I agree with what Nathan said on kind of what this committee should be doing. I mean, there's certain limitations that we all, you know, just have. So I will engage with Troutville tomorrow and just look at their adoptive park and start working on that. And I know we have a meeting, Bob, on
Right.
Thursday.
And
there
so,
might be
so I
something
throw something out there, we just kind of tentatively hold that date, but then we officially make it.
It's fine.
Sure.
Should we just, is that? I mean, because, right, I don't wanna meet to meet, just say we meet. Okay,
Are you talking August 3rd?
yeah, let's just kind of tentatively,
Maybe you could just send an email out to the group then, Bob,
yeah,
and then that way we don't mark our calendars.
An email.
mid-July, we should get, decide, right?
Yeah, well, hopefully some of us will see each other at Fairview Summer Fest.
Who wants to go?
I mean,
I'm going.
Yeah.
Everyone that goes,
Yeah.
or whatever
Yeah.
your name is.
Yeah.
The new fest.
yeah, let me know if you need.
I
somebody
can't,
to stop by with
unfortunately.
maybe.
Mark, you gonna come help us?
On the same weekend, that's July.
Depends on what they decide.
Picnic,
You know, it's just gonna be one big booth,
Fairview
What's
Terrace,
the
that's our
use?
weekend
the
for
way I feel about it.
annual garage sale, so.
August 3rd.
All right, so we're
Well, July.
7:03.
Powwow, the three of us, powwow.
I feel
July,
like I picked
24th
up stuff
to the
that's not
26th.
even needed at this point, so.
Take a little break.
Marsh, you picked up, it's exactly what people want. and you're gonna
committee.
No, well,
Have a little meeting.
like I said, if they're gonna have one big booth, it's just, to me, this feels useless, so.
Well, it's not over yet.
I'll just give it to my summer kids, my summer lunch kids that will enjoy it. I run a summer lunch program for the city,
Okay,
for the community. Anybody that's in this area is welcome to come to it. It's not just for my apartment complex. So I am about the city. I'm not just about Fairview Parks. I am about the city. I volunteer a lot of places around the city and around the state. So volunteering is my gig, and it hurts me to think that that you guys don't think I'm about the city. Okay, I love Fairview. I love Fairview here.
Now, Marsh,
Nobody said that. Nobody
you
picked
were
that
a
line.
volunteer of the year 2 or 3 years ago. There is no question about it. Everybody recognizes you are a fabulous volunteer.
Yes.
I love this city.
Well, we're gonna figure out how to get on some page.
I just feel that,
I'll try to
I
manage
feel
that.
like this was just. I'm not a person who likes things thrown at me at the last, as you are, I guess, observing.
I mean, we've heard you, I understand that entirely, okay? And I'm taking part of the responsibility for that, because I
I apologize.
scheduled the meeting, okay? With that, motion to adjourn?
I second it.
aye.
Aye.
Uh,